This episode of Lovely Geriatric Mums.
You know, COVID-19 can kiss my ass. You know, if I had any...
Kiss your vagina.
Kiss my vagina. I should be so lucky. If there's any changes.
Both of our works kind of are, in a way or another, linked to women's cancer or cancer.
Or cancer, very connected. So, yeah, we should know our stuff.
So we should know our stuff. And we started talking about it. And turns out, we might not know all that much.
We don't really know much. So what we did is I did some research and she didn't. So I am going to quiz Lena about the gynecological cancers. So what are the 5 gynecological cancers?
Right, okay, I know that there's a cervical cancer because that's the one that you take the smear for. There's a womb cancer, which I know because one of my friends had it. And ovarian cancer.
Yes.
The other two I'm not sure.
Well, just think about the anatomy of a woman.
Clitoris cancer?
Well, that would probably count as vaginal cancer. Or
Maybe not.
Oh, vulva. Vulva.
Yeah. Yeah, you know the difference between vulva and vagina. So
And
vagina
vulva.
is the inner bit,
And
the
vulva
vulva is
and-
the beautiful flower outside.
And vulva is a car.
Yeah, vulva is the yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you know what the signs and symptoms are?
Actually, I do know that one of the cancers, I can't remember which one, the symptoms are like bleeding really heavily.
Well, I think that's the womb one, but I think that the bleeding abnormally or bleeding between periods is kind of a sign for all of the gynecological cancers or perimenopause.
Yeah, it's really helpful for women in their 40s and 50s who might be going through perimenopause and menopause. It's like cancer or perimenopause.
Or just like a period, it's just fucking pissing
Randomly,
off.
yeah.
Like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Probably like a stomach ache, tummy ache or back ache or something like that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know which one is...
Kind of all of them really, like being swollen, getting. I think with the ovarian cancer, you know, one of the signs is that you get very swollen and like get very full quickly after eating. Any kind of lumps, any kind of changes, like thickening of the skin, any kind of discharge.
Painful sex?
Yep.
Fun things,
Oh,
yeah?
the fun things, yeah. I think the main thing here is that know your body. So if something is out of the normal, go and talk to the doctor and make sure that the doctor refers you somewhere if you're worried.
But what's also kids, dogs, camera, action. But what is actually interesting as well, because there is a petition now going on, and I put the link in under the video for women in the UK to have yearly or regular checkups for like gynecological or kind of pelvic vaginal area checkups, because there isn't such thing here. There is smear test, but I can't remember the last time somebody's actually looked inside my vagina.
I haven't been to a
The
gynecologist.
doctors.
I haven't.
and that's why the kind of survival rate from a lot of those cancers is quite low internationally, because
They aren't caught up.
yeah, exactly.
Really
So they're only diagnosed when things get really shit and really bad.
And when it's too late.
Obviously, for cervical cancer, it's the smear.
Yeah.
I had mine done last year, I think.
I had mine done a couple of weeks ago. I've just got my all clear letter. But even with that, especially, this is very pertinent during the COVID-19 pandemic that we're going through, if you hadn't noticed.
If you're watching this in 20 years' time and you haven't heard about it.
Yeah, we should be so lucky. But the thing is that people are delaying things. I mean, I delayed my appointment by 4 months because I just didn't think that you'd be able to go. And it's not pleasant, but it is necessary. And
It's not that bad. Like, I mean,
not that bad.
it's not like having a drink with your mates in a sunny park, but you know, it's also not like
not that
getting
bad,
up
yeah.
at 5:30 after you slept 2 hours.
You know, I know people that I work with who who've never had it.
No way.
Yeah. Yep. Seagulls.
And also, I mean, if you've had a baby, having a smear is a pretty bloody small thing. Like, you know, it's like a little feather touching your vagina.
We haven't talked about breast cancer though. Is the most common cancer for women, I think. 1 in 8, you know, once you get over 50. So important to self-examine. I've always had sort of slightly lumpy armpit, and then I just thought, well, maybe I'll just go and get it checked out. And I went to see the doctor, and they just went, and they said, actually, you're quite lumpy both sides. Yeah, they said you're lumpy both sides, so probably nothing to worry about. But then what happened? Then the pandemic came, and I didn't go for my second examination. But it's very hormonal, and you know, like with breast cancer, it's all about lumps and bumps and you know, dimpling and things feeling different or discharge. And normally pain isn't one of the signs, so I get painful, and it's all to do with my period, which is pretty much all the time at the moment. So sexy.
But you know, as well, it's with the breast cancer, in kind of like trying to spot it, is that you should be looking at yourself in the mirror without a top on, like, you know, with your arms up, with your arms down, and just to see if your breasts look normal and the same size, and if
sort of denting or...
But because we are so kind of like embarrassed of our own body and nudity, like how often do you actually look yourself like naked in a mirror? Like, it's just like, oh, I don't know if I want to look at myself in a mirror naked. It's just, you know, it is up to us.
Save your life.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you have any changes on your boobies or the way that your vagina works, go to the doctor. You know, COVID-19 can kiss my ass. You know, if I had any...
Kiss your vagina.
Kiss my vagina. I should be so lucky. If there's any changes... Any changes, go and get it checked out.
So this is a really weird one, because it is kind of like a blessing disguised as a guilt in my moment, or guilt in my moment disguised as a blessing. So basically, Mia will wake up quite early, and he comes to her bedroom, and if it's too early, we say to him, it's too early, we're going to wake up, and we're going to get up in half an hour. And he goes and entertains himself, which is like exactly what you've been waiting for. But it brings itself this guilt, because, you know, if you sleep for another half an hour, you go there, and it's like, oh my God, the poor thing's been playing by himself for half an hour. And actually once, me and Ben both fell asleep and woke up in an hour. So he'd been playing by himself for an hour. Aww. I mean, he was fine. He wasn't like traumatized. What about you?
You should never stop child singing, unless it continues for 6 months of the Star Wars theme tune, and then the little fucker learns how to whistle. It's the Darth Vader theme tune.
And now there's a car alarm going. What do you think is worse, Darth Vader theme or this car alarm going?
I'd have the car alarm any day. Yeah.
Me too.